And joining me on this podcast tonight is Silox.
Hey, how's it going?
And we do have a special guest named Jason at JXB Reviews, but he is currently running late. So it's going to be just us two holding down the show until we can bring him in.
No IBM?
Unfortunately, IBM will not be with us this episode.
Oh.
Yeah. So tonight's episode, we're going to be talking about sports in the age of coronavirus. And of course, there's been plenty of changes that have happened so suddenly in how we enjoy sports, how we watch sports, how we bet on sports, how people play sports, and we wanted to get the perspective of furries who love sports to see how things have changed for them, and what has changed, how will this impact how you enjoy the sports, and also when will we see everything go back to normal?
For real?
Yeah, for real. Who knows?
I mean, it might be next year. It might be 2 years. I mean, hey, it might never go back. You never know.
Oh my goodness.
Can you imagine though that we get to the point where we are in Major League Baseball, where they have all these bubbles? Well, they don't even have bubbles. I'm sorry, they don't have bubbles. The MLB is stuck on stupid. They were like, "Fuck this. We're not doing bubbles. Right? We're all going to get coronavirus and deal with it."
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the NBA, MLS, and I'm guessing not even NFL, because they're not doing bubbles, but just the NBA and MLS and NHL, they're like, okay, we're going to be smart about this and have bubbles. So can you imagine that for the next year or 2 years, we see sports in bubbles and no fans in the stands?
Oh,
that's
boy.
crazy.
What do you mean by bubbles?
So bubbles. So basically, what some of these leagues came up with is, in order to dampen down the spread of coronavirus, they are having their entire league play, live, and work in a contained area. That's what I mean when I say a bubble.
Oh, that sucks for the players.
Anyway, before we get too carried away with our episode, tonight's episode is brought to you by Cooper Hugo.
Oh, you're actually streaming. I should not be here.
Oh, you're fine.
Well, anyway, way to go. You drove him off.
Hey, are you broke?
But tell us
a car? Well, come on down to Cooper Hugo. I can hook you up with one of these bad boys here. Brand new
Cooper Hugo, please.
1988 Hugo GV. It's got none of the options. No power steering, no power windows, no power seats. Nothing to worry about. Check out our showroom with drop ceilings and wood paneling and horrendous fluorescent lighting. So it entices you to make a decision fast and get the hell out. You know how much money you'll be saving by buying one of these? They're practically free. They're like $3,000. Who doesn't have $3,000? I mean, a lot of people don't. But I'm just saying, look here, folks. We got a nice 1987 Yugo GV in baby poo brown. No miles on it because it's been sitting here on the lot for 3 years. Come on down and buy the damn thing. Do you want to live in the lap of luxury? Well, here we do. We have a royal blue one. It's not any different from all the other ones here. They're all the same. There's nothing different, just the colors. But trust me, this is the fully loaded one. It comes with everything that it doesn't have. Now, I know what you're thinking. Yes, the folding chairs are kind of tacky, but you know what? We're all about saving money here. So we're going to cut corners left and right to make you a good deal. So you're going to sit your ass in a folding chair and buy one of these goddamn things. You need them. I want to get rid of them. Come on down and buy one of these damn things. One of the headlights is a little weird. Trust me, it's okay. You're not going to need it. Don't drive it in the dark. It's fine. Listen, as you turn the key, let's just say, once these things are running, they purr like a kitten. Trust me. You don't have any money? I don't care. Come on down. I can give you one of these for free. Nobody's gonna even notice that one of these is gone. Come on down and get it off my hands, because it's making my lot look disgusting. Look at the spacious interior in these things. Look how roomy they are. I might be a tiny cat, but to me, this thing is freaking huge. And don't mind that seat's a little different color. That's all right. It doesn't matter. This is the Yugo GV Plus with Bosch fuel injection. Now, Yugo didn't want to put that in there, but they had to pass emission regulations. So if you don't like carburetors, why don't you spend the extra $2,000 and get the Yugo GV Plus? It's almost twice the price and looks exactly the same. The Yugo has a reputation of being unreliable, so that's why we have a fully stocked parts department for every single part of that car, because you're going to need every single part of that car to keep that car alive.
Hey,
you're going to be spending a lot of time here waiting in the service department to get your Yugo fixed.
So I just saw the message on there. I thought it was some pretty wild things earlier today.
What do you want? We got steering wheels. We got bumpers.
So sorry.
We got wiper blades. We got wheels.
Fine.
We got everything.
It's not
come on
really
down. Build
that big
yourself
of a
car.
deal.
If you
It's
even
just
wanna buy
a
one,
game
build
that
one and
just
drive
went
it
real
away.
wild,
Probably do
real
build better than
fast,
the ones that
and
were coming
it
out
got
of the
my
factory anyway. Why don't you
freaking
want
blood
this
pressure
one?
through the roof.
Please just
Like,
buy
got me,
this
like,
one. This is the most
very-
disgusting one. So if you're more concerned about saving money than your own life in a head-on collision, come on down to Cooper Yugo, located right here in beautiful VR Chat.
So welcome back. And we'd like to welcome Jason to the podcast.
Yeah, welcome. Glad to have you on.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm happy to be here.
Hi. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for coming on kind of a bit of a short notice. Now, if you do want to join the podcast, you can totally do so. You do so by joining our Discord channel at here on Discord. But to join the Discord chat, it's very easy. Just go to our Twitter at Furry Frequencies, or excuse me, at Furry Frequency, and pinned to the very top of our feed is the Discord link. Just click that. Make sure you read the important README, and then go into the waiting room, and you will be called up whenever you type a message. Moderators are standing by to take your call and join you into the podcast. So first of all, I'd like to welcome Jason X to the podcast. Welcome aboard.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here to talk about some of the rarities. A rarity to talk about, really, when it comes to furries, and I'm just excited to really just share that love amongst others.
Okay, so just going by your Twitter, you say that you're first of all a fursuiter. Do you have a fursuit?
Yes, I do.
And you also say you're an actor?
Yes, I actually have been acting for, I think, about 5 or 6 years now. Pretty amateur stuff for the most part. I have actually gone to graduated from college recently with a bachelor's degree in theater from the University of West Georgia. So
Nice.
So I have been doing a lot of acting related things for now. Of course, I graduated earlier this year, so around the weirdness of the pandemic, so everything's a little bit slow right now when it comes to like roles, and it's just been kind of on the laying low until things finally start picking back up again. That way I can really start getting into it.
Yeah. And also, you typically review cartoons, is that correct?
Yes, I do review cartoons. I've actually started doing a recording a couple of days ago, doing a review of the latest book of Infinity Train. I don't know if you guys have paid attention to that series. That is airing on Cartoon Network and is also being streamed on HBO Max. And it's been I'm very excited to really talk about it. And
Okay.
if you guys are interested in looking at it, I could probably send some information over to you guys to
Okay.
put the link in the description below.
Okay, yeah. So if our listeners wanted to learn more about you, what's the best way to for them to reach you?
Well, of course, I'm always on Telegram for the most part, and it is at Xenosblade. I have a lot of names, so bear with me.
Oh, that's fine.
Oh, you're fine.
Yeah. So on Telegram, it's at Xenosblade. If you guys want to get in touch with me, I do have. I am on Twitter, even though I don't really use the DMs as much, but it's at JXB Reviews. So you can go ahead and get on those two if you want to contact me the most. And I'm also on Discord, which is of course Jason X. And I gotta actually look at the digit thingy because I can't remember them top of my head. Actually, I do. It's Jason X hashtag 4009. So
Wow, that's actually
it's 4009.
yeah, that's actually a pretty good number because who remembers that number on Discord?
I know I don't.
Mm-mm.
Neither do
Actually,
All I know is
actually-
I'm like one of the handful of people that have a three digit number.
really,
Yeah, well, that's not anything special.
I didn't know that. I didn't know it was 3 digits. Usually, I see 4.
Yeah, I usually see 4 too, and then I look at my name. It's like, wow, I only have 3 digits. Okay,
Oh, look at
Interesting.
you. So special.
yeah.
Special
So-
thing about you.
Welcome, gentlemen, and here we are talking about sports in the age of coronavirus. So, of course, a number of things have changed ever since the end of the last season and the beginning of this season. A lot of things have changed. We're seeing everything from putting standees in the stands at baseball games to
Oh, boy.
coaches and managers being called out for not wearing a mask in their little suites and their little box suites.
Sean Payton was not wearing a mask
Yeah.
during the Tampa Bay Saints game, and I was like, "Oh my God, he's going to get fined by the NFL." And sure enough, the league sent out a memo warning people that you have to wear masks on the sidelines, or else.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
So-
are cracking down on that.
Yeah. So I want to just talk about all of these changes that have happened recently regarding how we enjoy sports and how does this impact your enjoyment of the sports? How do you feel about all of these changes? Do you feel like they're necessary? Do you think they're a little too much? They're not enough? What do you feel like some of these things are like silly as well? I know that, coronavirus is very serious and all that, but I want to get your opinions and see, what do you think about everything that's going on in the world of sports?
Well, I think all the actions that have happened so far, I think it has been absolutely necessary to do because we really don't know how serious the virus can actually do. I mean, of course, you don't have to worry about it too much when it comes to when it comes to the athletes in particular, because they have a very well toned bodies, which is not trying to kink it up or whatever, but they have they are trained to keep their bodies healthy.
Mhm.
They know how to keep active and make sure that all of their vitals are at its greatest. But at the same time, you don't. This virus can affect people in very different ways.
Mhm.
Like I do remember when it comes to the Braves and Freddie Freeman, he had the virus and he had to stay home for a good amount of time because it really made him feel miserable. And he is one of the better players for the Braves, if I recall correctly. I don't really watch baseball too much, so
Yeah.
take it with a pinch of salt. but it really does depend on from person to person. It is very important for us to make sure that in order for everyone to enjoy the game as much as possible, we have to take these kind of precautions. Well, yes, it's unfortunate that we won't be able to go to games in person. Like I really want to be able to go to an actual game for the first time on my own when it comes to football anyways. But of course, I'm not going to try and go out my way to risk my life in order to watch a few dudes tackle each other. So I think it is very necessary so far, and I think it is important for us to really take it as serious. And I know for the coaches that did decide to not to take off their mask or at some point during the game to really talk to their players and stuff.
Okay.
It is important for us to know that, hey, you can just speak louder. You don't necessarily have to take the mask off. I'm
Yeah.
sure,
Yeah.
especially with the fact that like there are a lot of places where there are no fans whatsoever. It's a lot easier to communicate with your guys.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I think that we do have that players, coaches, fans, as much as it does suck for us to not be able to have that full experience, we still need to be able to be careful and make sure to be able to play safety, because safety is always number one.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
All of this has, in my opinion, been necessary, and I don't have a problem with it. Initially, I was skeptical when I heard the NFL was not going to follow the example of the NBA, NHL, and MLS by having a bubble plan, by playing in specific areas rather than have teams travel, especially the hot spots in the South, the Midwest, and in the West Coast. But it seems as though the NFL has largely avoided the mishaps that the MLB has when it comes to coronavirus.
Yeah.
And that could just be because when the MLB started, the outbreak was reaching its fever pitch down south in Florida. I know the Marlins, especially, and the not Red Sox, the Cardinals, they really got hit really hard by coronavirus cases. But I think so far the NFL has done an excellent job at mitigating coronavirus within the league, and I have to applaud them for that.
Yeah.
I will say the one thing I'm still trying to get over has to be the pumped-in crowd noise. And that's not just for the NFL, that's basketball too. There's just something about pumped-in crowd noise that I just don't like. And I know some teams, they like the Saints. The Saints feed off the crowd noise, and I will tell you, watching the first half, at some points it was obvious that they looked sluggish because they did not have the crowd noise behind them. It was all canned, and it sounded so fake, and it's like, I don't like this.
Yeah, I personally, I try. I don't really pay attention too much of the crowd noise on TV. I just mostly focus on the action that's happening. But I could definitely understand, especially for like when it comes to those important crowd shots that always happen throughout the game, seeing the emotion of the fans. Like, I'm sure that is sorely missed. And to allude to your point about the NFL doing a great job, I definitely agree with that. But I think one of the main reasons is because they looked at the at MLB and saw what not to do. What not to do when it comes to how to handle the coronavirus without the bubble format. Because I can 100% understand why they didn't go that route, because it's going to be hard to keep a distance of people that are going to be like thousands and thousands of players to stay in like these certain sections. I mean, it can be done at some point, but it's going to be really hard to find all the room that you need, all the money that has to be put in to make sure that everyone is well fed, have opportunity, be able to make sure that all the rooms are rented out, making sure that everything is quarantined in those areas. It's a big hassle, especially when you have like 32 rosters of 53 men. Like, you're asking for a lot.
So I wanted to go back to a point that Psylocke made in regards to pumping in of crowd noise. Basically, the artificial creation of a crowd in these games, and no sports league is quote unquote better or been mocked more about doing this than Major League Baseball, especially with their cardboard cutouts. And here's what I mean. And let me see. So I
Cutouts
have
are hilarious.
yeah. So I have up a article from Newsday, and basically it lists the Major League Baseball teams that are charging you for cardboard cutouts, and it's it's not really that bad of a cost for some of these teams, especially if you're a season ticket holder, but it does get ridiculous. Like the Dodgers, they charge $149 for a cardboard cutout of yourself in the field level or lodge seats, $2.99 for the pavilion seats in the outfield or the dugout club behind the plate. Like $300. Can you imagine $300 for a cardboard cutout of yourself?
Just to see yourself on TV.
Just to see yourself on TV, exactly.
See, if I'm doing that, I'm going to do it in fursuit. No fuck given. I'm going to be in fursuit if I do that.
Oh, you know
Yeah.
what? You know
I'm
what?
spending $300 to be on TV, basically. Why not do it in fursuit?
I dare you to do that. I dare anybody to do that. Plunk some money, find one of these teams and plunk some money to put your fursuit self into that seat. I mean, we would, if anybody did that with a fursuit, I guarantee you'd be the next special guest on Furry Frequencies. Because we want to talk to you about doing that.
Yeah.
Fuck that. If anyone does that, I will personally mail you a check for Nope. Because
Mr. Moneybags over here.
Someone's going to do that. So I'm not going to say that.
Yeah, I mean,
So
I think that it would be very. If there is a refundable, if they're just like, no, you can't do this and have a refund, I would be willing to do it, but it just depends.
Yeah.
But honestly, I'm not too surprised because as you already know, the MLB is honestly one of the most greedier leagues of the Big Four.
Yeah.
And so they are very willing to try and take as much money from their fans as possible. So I'm not too surprised they decided to be like, you know what, if you want your cardboard cutout into the crowd, then cough up some money and then here you go. Because of course they want to be able to get as much of a feel of an actual game, of an actual professional game as much as possible, which is really hard for anyone to do in these circumstances, especially for stadiums like the MLB. It's kind of hard to really use the webcams that a lot of leagues are doing now, like the NBA, and I believe WWE is doing it as well too, using the webcams. But overall, I just think that I'm not too mad at them because I know how the MLB is when it comes to how they want to get as much money as possible, especially with how the owners when everybody was asking whether or not MLB is going to happen, was like, we're broke. We're so broke. We have no money.
So they're gonna make some money off of people's narcissism.
Exactly.
Pretty much.
Yep. If people are willing to spend that money, then they can go ahead and do it. Like, I'm not going to.
Absolutely.
If you got the money in this pandemic, then you can go ahead, go waste it.
Yeah, waste your money like that. Way to go.
But no,
It has
seriously,
nothing
I
to do
would
with
love
me.
to see a furry just plonk their cardboard cutout self in fursuit in these seats. Send us a picture, and then we'll put you on Furry Frequencies and talk to you about it.
Yeah,
Like-
I like that.
Like, first question, what possessed you to do this? Is it because we dared you? Or is it because you just love looking at yourself that much?
It's just be like, well, I just want furry Twitter to talk about me.
And you know they will. You know they will. That's gonna
Oh,
go-
for sure.
That's going to light up like fire. Like, I mean, hell, even ESPN will probably like freeze frame and say and zoom in at that cutout and like, what the fuck is this? Can you imagine Stephen A. Smith? You know, just looking at this and like, who the fuck is that?
Well, Bob, look at this furry right here. This is amazing.
See, I'm
I would like
debating. I'm honestly debating whether or not to do the because I know that the NBA has this thing where you like purchase a beer and you take a picture of it. You can get like a code to do the webcam thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'll be willing to do it. I'll be like, I don't really drink beer at all, but I'm willing to buy it just so I can put my fursuit on screen.
Oh,
do it.
that would be
I would-
awesome.
Yeah. Well, not this season since the Pelicans aren't in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But next year, yeah.
We'll see how the Hawks fare with Clint Capella.
Yeah, I'm quite sad at the Timberwolves because I think they're like.
Hey, at least you got the number 1 pick, regrettably.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, to me, I'd probably like. I'd trade a stellar season, or no, I would trade like first round pick for a stellar season. I mean, come on.
I mean, hey, you never know. I mean, sure, we don't have a lot going on for this upcoming draft class for the NBA, but you might find a gem. You never know.
Yeah. So moving on. So we had last week, I think it was last week, the opening to the NFL season. We had the opening with the Chiefs and the Texans on one end. And I think you had Jacksonville playing somebody else. I forget.
Jacksonville played.
I think they played the Eagles, right?
No, the Washington football team.
Oh, right. That's right.
Oh, okay. No. Hold on.
No, Jacksonville played Indianapolis.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Yeah, because I think it was the Eagles played the football team, the Washington football team, if I recall correctly.
Yeah.
God damn.
Let me check.
That was this weekend, though.
Just to make sure.
Can I just say, I am still trying to get used to that name.
I've gotten used to it.
It's so generic, but it's hard to like just not call them the R word. But
yeah, yeah. Let me check real quick.
So So yeah, as part of the beginning of the new NFL football season with coronavirus restrictions in place, only 2 cities have allowed fans in the stands at their respective football stadiums, and that's of course Kansas City and Jacksonville. And both of those teams have had trouble selling tickets. Kansas City in particular was having a lot of trouble selling tickets because they weren't selling individual tickets. What you had to buy was a group of 6 tickets all at once, and they had to be people you know. And they called this pods. They called this pod seating. So they arranged everybody in pods. I love saying that, pods. Oh, look, fire.
This is pod racing. There you go.
Oh, there's fire on our stream. We're talking about Kansas City,
right.
and they're talking about the fires in California. Wonderful. Welcome to 2020.
Why is there a video of that?
I don't know.
I think it's just like general advertisement or something.
It's Yahoo Sports.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I just wanted to open up to this article from Yahoo Sports, where they're talking about the 2 teams that can allow fans in the stands and fans just don't want to go. How long do you think it will be before we see a full stadium of fans again? Just out of the blue.
I would say months after a vaccine shows up.
Okay, that's fair.
So
it'd probably be about sometime like in the summer or before the new NFL season kicks off. In September.
I honestly think that this year, if your team hasn't allowed fans throughout the entire season, don't be surprised that you won't be able to have that opportunity until 2021, because especially with I don't know if it's still going strong with the weather being a second outbreak, with it being the fall and things are getting cooler and the virus being more active in cooler settings. I don't know if that's going to loom true because everything changes like every day with this virus.
Yeah.
But if it ends up becoming another large breakout, I would not be surprised if a lot of teams are just going to pull the plug altogether with inviting fans in. And I wouldn't be surprised that if the Super Bowl ends up having to be in a certain bubble either, which would suck because that is literally the biggest event in America, not just in sports, but in America in its entirety.
So could you? It's going to be weird then to imagine that we possibly will have a Super Bowl where there's nobody except designated NFL personnel and like obviously the media in the stands. Like that is so surreal.
Yeah,
It's almost apocalyptic if you think about it.
I mean, it already feels apocalyptic.
All these players playing this game that usually would be like the biggest sporting event of the year, in an empty stadium. It's, very eerie to think about.
So prior to all this, the only time that I can remember that teams had ever played in an empty stadium was back in 2015. It was the Baltimore Orioles, and I forgot the other team, but that was after the aftermath of the Freddie Gray riots. And even then, people were shocked because nobody had ever done that.
Yeah.
So, and I watched that game, and it was weird seeing nobody in the stands and then playing a full baseball game.
Yeah.
But to amplify that up to a football stadium and a football game where you have at least 68, 69, 70,000 rowdy fans in a stadium, and it's not going to happen. It's just so bizarre and surreal to see that.
And then you also have to consider the people outside tailgating and just, kind of watching the game from outside the stadium.
Yeah. And there will be no halftime show, or if there is, it will have to be taped or something. I don't know how that will work.
Yeah, I really think that this upcoming Super Bowl is probably going to be the weirdest one ever because people aren't going to be going to the bars to watch the game. They're not going to go to their favorite sports bar or their favorite restaurant to watch it with a bunch of other rowdy fans that are just amped to watch the game and root for their team. And that's just it's hard. It's hard because it's like an American tradition by now to watch the game like that. And
like even the most casual.
Yeah, exactly. I'm kind of a casual. I'm a casual player. I'm a casual football fan. And when it's our team, I get really, really hyped. But I really want to go someplace and just like watch it and root for the team with other people, even if I don't know them. And now we may be going into a possibility where we can't do that. But if you are ever looking for a good deal on tickets, this is like the best and worst time to buy a ticket.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those buy at your own risks.
Yeah. Well, in the places that they offer, like Jacksonville, I think was being offered on the secondary market for as low as $50, and that's for a football game ticket. Like, wow, what?
Well, Jacksonville is they're openly tanking, but not openly tanking. So it's like, do I really want to watch this team that might be tanking for a quarterback from Clemson that may or may not be good? Obviously, they're not tanking now. So, I mean, I don't know. I would say that if coronavirus weren't a thing and all things being equal, and if everything stayed the same with Jacksonville, the price would still be $50 because that team is just not good.
No one wants to watch them.
Yeah,
like it is. No one wants to watch them.
I'd rather watch the Browns at this point.
Really?
The Browns suck.
At least the Browns can be entertaining, just seeing how they're going to implode again.
Yes, well, they already started.
Oh yeah, I know.
Oh yeah.
So
getting absolutely murdered week 1 by the Ravens, that was great.
They're in midseason form. Baker's in midseason form. And I got it. I've been telling people this. Baker is overrated, and I got a lot of shit for that last season, and I got a lot of shit for that his first year in the NFL. But I stand by it.
I just
The guy's
don't
overrated.
care. I don't like. Honestly, I was like, okay, he can. I didn't even think he was going to be like a top 10 quarterback. But, okay, he'd be good enough to help the Browns get over the hump because they have the tools to do well. It's just once again they got to clean up all of their bullshit. They have to clean up all of the crap that they keep putting in their pants. Like they just got to clean themselves up and actually be more professional instead of acting like children, because they still have that mentality, I feel, within that locker room, and they still haven't found a coach that is willing to actually be like, hey, chill the fuck out, this is what we're doing. And that's just kind of how it is. And I honestly expect Baker to be on that long list of names because I wasn't too hot with him really then. I thought he would be okay, but now I'm just like, okay, this is essentially another name on the list that Browns will be disappointed on.
So speaking of the Browns, we've been hearing some rumors about one of their players in particular, Odell Beckham, and this is some. Oh my goodness, the jokes just kind of write themselves when you see this. So, in another podcast, one of Odell Beckham's dates has allegedly said that he enjoys getting pooed on.
Wait.
Yeah. There it is on our stream. So Odell Beckham is trending.
My God.
So he was trending on Twitter because he allegedly likes to get pooped on. And of course, we had to talk about this because we were talking about the Browns. We were saying crap and poo and shit. And I'm like, wow, this is like a signal.
This is how mature
this is a sign.
He is, what I have to deal with. He gets giggly about stuff like this.
What? No, it's funny. It's funny.
Look.
Jeez, no wonder he's signed with the Browns. He's so used to shit.
Exactly.
See, you know what? Y'all can make the poo jokes you want. That's fine. I'm not gonna judge.
Oh my gosh! But yo, this is legit. Holy moly!
Well, I mean, I'll have this video talk for it, or speak for itself.
I could not do it. That was something like I'm a wild ass. I could do some freak asshole shit. You know what I'm saying? But the shit part, you can't just do that to me like on spot. What? Like shit on right me now. Okay, he wanted me to come on a plane. He was like, make sure you don't have any underwear. Don't take a shower for 24 hours. I'm like, damn, what the fuck you on? But he was like, take a picture. This is how I got flown out. He was like, take a picture of me. You shitting. So I was like, all right, fuck. I can do that. I took a whole video, bitch. What you want? I was like, I love you. You took a video? Of me shitting. So I sent it to him. I got, like, the next maybe 2 hours I was in Houston.
Was it like a selfie video?
Jesus Christ.
How did you do this?
I was just
need that. I need lessons.
Oh my lord!
I tried not to take shame.
I feel like anything you do,
I can't even listen anymore. I can't even listen anymore. Oh my gosh! Oh my lord!
So I don't kink shame. I make it my point not to, but that's just shitty. That's all. That's just shitty. If he's
no pun intended.
No pun intended. If he's allegedly, and I have to say allegedly because we're in 2020. If he's allegedly into that, cool, good for him. I don't want to hear about that. Why are people telling me about what other people's kinks are? I don't want to hear about that.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's a major football player. You're going to hear about every little minutiae of his life. Because he's a major
it's that
player.
Celebrity life.
Yeah, exactly.
It's that celebrity life, man. Like, I mean, people try and look up the most craziest things. It's like the people who it's not really comparable at all, but it's like the people who try to make a news story about somebody unfollowing a team on Twitter.
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah.
You see that all the freaking time. Like we're seeing that right now with Giannis, and you're just like, who cares? it's whatever. Like people are making it such a big
Yeah.
deal, and you're just like, why are you taking your time to try and share that information with everybody? You know, and it's just because everybody wants to stir up something, and I don't really think a lot of people are going to talk about it too much. I don't imagine ESPN talking about his kinks live on television because that's very vulgar.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of one of those things where you have to be careful of who you talk with and who you be intimate with, because you never know how it's going to bite you in the butt.
Yeah, and I mean, I can tell just from that video that was shown that, you know, he's with a bunch of thoughts, and of course these thoughts, they're just gonna
Oh my God.
they're gonna share everything. They're gonna talk about everything. Every little bit of their date with Odell Beckham is gonna be on their Instagram. So yeah, of course you're gonna hear about Odell Beckham wanting to be shat on by Shorty, and oh my goodness, the memes that have spouted from this are amazing. Odell Beckham when a girl says her stomach is feeling bubbly. I can't. I just can't.
It's like I hate talking about my own stuff. Like this is just like too much.
Yeah. Boy out here catching shit. Odell Beckham, he's a wide receiver for the Browns and more like the wide load receiver for the Browns.
Oh Lord!
See the jokes. No, the jokes. They write themselves.
You know what? When Odell Beckham sues you, I'm just gonna laugh.
How is he gonna sue me? Why is he gonna sue me? He's suing me because I'm saying jokes. The jokes write themselves. Jokes
you
write
get sued.
themselves.
I'm just gonna sit here and laugh at you and make fun of you on Twitter.
Well, I'm gonna laugh at him because he likes to get shat on. I'll just
allegedly.
Okay, allegedly likes to be shat on, but I'm saying if he allegedly tries to sue me for allegedly saying that he allegedly
tries to sue you?
Because he allegedly likes
to sue you.
Hold on a minute. No, I'm saying I'm saying that if he wants to sue me, he wants to send me a subpoena because subpoena.
Oh my
so
Lord.
So if he wants to send me a subpoena to sue me because I'm telling jokes about his poo fetish, I will send him a picture back of that one dude that holds the glass sign or the little glass of wine that says "eat shit." I'll just send him that.
You are absolutely the worst.
All right, I think it's time for us to move on from this topic.
Thank you. People just go on about this. He found something that he likes to.
Oh my goodness gracious!
So, all of us right now, we do have a caller. Hi, Jingles. Welcome to the podcast.
Good evening. How are y'all doing?
Oh, we're doing all
good.
All right. So, the one thing you've been talking about is the MLB playoff bracket has been announced earlier today, where they're doing a bubble theme, like what the NHL and NBA has been doing, where the AL, DS, and CS would be in Los Angeles and San Diego, and the NLDS, CS would be in Dallas and Houston, while the World Series would be in Dallas also. Do you have any comments about that?
Honestly, I don't think it's too bad of an idea, mainly because of the situations of it'll be a weird adjustment period for a lot of the players, since they're so used to traveling around for the most part, and now are just getting used to going by the guidelines and all that stuff. But now they have to go ahead and set up for a new type of situation where they're going to be away for, I believe, probably will be a month. Considering that, if I recall correctly, how this system was going to work, that all of the first round games will be like 3-game series, and then we'll head into like the regular 5 games that you see as a regular playoff seeding. But I don't think it's too big of a deal, because it's not like the NBA where you're going to be doing that for like a good 3 or 4 months. I think with this format, you only have to worry about it for maybe a month or 2.
So,
But if you look at
sorry. So I just want to interject for a minute. So you're talking about having the MLB just kind of have one one stadium that everybody plays in for the National League, one stadium that everybody plays in for the American League, so that it prevents teams from like moving around too much and possibly contracting the virus and spreading it from place to place. Is that right?
The division series would be one game would be in LA, the other one would be in San Diego. Then out during for the championship series to be in San Diego, while the other series, one game would be in Houston, the other one would be in Dallas, and the championship series would be in Dallas. While after all that, the World Series would be in Dallas. And another thing is, Game 1 of the World Series is on October 20th. And for the National League, if both series go 5 games and the other one goes 7 games, you're playing 12 straight games with a day off before Game 1 of the World Series. So they'd be exhausted if they go the distance.
Yeah. Wow, 12 games?
Yeah, if they go best of 5, then best of 7, then you have the day off, right? And then you got Game 1 of the World Series.
Yeah,
that is
I think
brutal.
It is, but I think it's trying to make sure to get the season wrapped up as quick as possible because just like with the end,
it makes $1 billion in 1 month. That's what they're focusing on.
Right.
Yeah.
It's the money and also trying to move on from this weird year as quick as possible because I mean the NBA's been doing the same thing too when it comes to their series. Like the teams are playing like every other day, and once the next round is set up, they're not even gonna wait for the other set to be settled in. They're just gonna go ahead and get those games going. That's why today we saw
the Game 7 the Western Conference right now. You already got Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yep. That's just kind of like how it is, which is unfortunate for the players. But I think people just want to be in and out of the bubble format because you don't know how if it's gonna be an outbreak at any point.
Yeah, I agree with that. Well, thank you, Jingles, for calling in.
All right, no problem.
Yeah. Thank you.
That was actually a great call. I'm really glad that we're getting people that really know their stuff and want to actually have a deep discussion on sports. Switching gears slightly, we're still talking about the NFL, even though we were talking about the Browns, but I want to talk about the Washington football team because that's been a major change that's happened in the NFL recently. And I did tour FedEx Field while I was doing my rounds at work. And I do have to say that with all of the changes to all of the graphics that have been posted on the side of FedEx Field, it definitely looks very, very bland. Like everything looks very, very bland and soulless and just stagnant. That's a very good word for me to just explain just what I'm seeing. It's all stagnant. You're not seeing any players posted. So the pictures of any players, you're not seeing any players posted. They have this little wraparound cover over some of the windows on the lobby level that show the trophies, the Super Bowl trophies. They don't show the bottom part of the trophy. They only show the top part. And they do try to say, Washington football team established in 1932, I believe. And it's weird. It's weird. And I really want to take your thought on that because I'm hoping that this is not a permanent change, but Dan Snyder has hinted that it's a possibility.
Well, I think it's one of those situations where they don't really have much of a choice but to do these things because with the name being so sensitive and being one of the major discussions to the point where a lot of big companies were willing to drop you as a partner
Yeah.
to which takes away a large sum of that money. Plus, with the fact that like there were a lot of talks at one point of Dan Snyder possibly selling the team outright because of the situations.
Yeah.
But I think I think just like everything else, it's temporary. I think what's probably going to end up happening, because everything is such short notice, they may have to take some time to kind of do a little photoshopping, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To like, get the logos out of there as soon as you can, so that way it'll probably bring that life again for the Washington football team.
Yeah.
But for now, they're gonna have to like deal with a lot of growing pains until they are actually able to find a new name and stick with it, because everything is just so sudden right now. I mean, that's probably why the Washington football team became a thing, because they just didn't have enough time to come up with a new name. They want to actually take their time to think about it and see what the best action is. So hopefully this is a 1 year thing. This is a 1 year thing, and they'll come up with the name as soon as the season is over. And I'm sure it'll be sooner rather than later, because I don't imagine them going to the playoffs anytime soon. But
yeah, neither do I.
So I just think that it's going to be one of those situations where they have to go ahead and start cleaning up whatever mess that they have in that organization as a whole, because it is very, very ugly from what we know so far with the news of this team. And we just have to make sure to we just have to pretty much be able to get used to it until they're able to come with a more creative, more welcoming name for everyone to feel comfortable going to.
Yeah. Did you kind of dip your toes into what you might want to see as a future Washington football team name? Like, I was actually very partial to the Red Tails, because I thought that, if it's the Red Tails, then they could definitely create like a red-tailed hawk mascot. Maybe even have them wear a leather jacket and an aviator cap, and really play on that, and it'd be a really nice homage to Washington's history doing that. So what do you think is a great name for the team?
I honestly agree with you. I actually like Red Tails the most out of all the names that have been suggested from various people.
Yeah.
Mainly because of the fact that it gives Omen to a better part of history in America compared to what the other one was. It really kind of gives honor to those that were a part of the Tuskegee Airmen as well. If they decided to play it in that kind of route. I know there were some people that are concerned of going from one ethnicity to another, but at least with this one, it's
positive.
It's a more positive one compared to a negative one.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So I think that's something that I think if they want to go that route, they can totally do it. I just hope it's not a basic ass name. That's all I want.
I mean, I'm probably the most basic. You can't get any more basic than Washington football team. Like, that just sounds like, all these.
That's the Dan Snyder move right there.
It is. It is. But it makes sense considering how short of notice that they had to do this change.
Yeah.
Yeah. I tell people, I don't think anybody saw this coming at all. Like, I didn't think that I would ever see the team name change. And I'm 29. Okay. I'm young. It's not like I'm like.
I'm with you. I'm with you, because back in 2013,
I'm young.
Dan
I didn't
Snyder.
think I'd ever see it in my life.
Yeah, I'm with you. Dan Snyder in 2013, he said that he would never change the name, and you could put that in all caps. He said that. And now when major sponsors are just pulling out their money out of the team, Dan Snyder is more open to listening, I guess.
Yep. Unfortunately, that's how the world of capitalism works.
Yeah.
Money talks.
Yeah.
Money talks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
it took
does.
them this long, but
It
I'm
does.
happy that they're changing the name, and I do hope that the next name that they choose is at least not generic. Like, for the love of God, please don't pick Warriors. I know it's tempting. Don't do that. Let Golden State have that and some college teams. Don't do Warriors. Be
I
unique.
mean, you can't get any more generic than Washington football team. I mean, it's like you're going to a Toy Story. As you see all of these, shiny teams with really nice mascots and really great looking fans and stuff. And then you've got the store brand Washington football team.
That sounds like a generic team on some like generic Madden clone. Washington football team.
Yeah, I know, right?
It is what it is. I think at the end of the day, it's better to have like some sort of basis than to have something that can easily trigger someone or really upset someone. So while it isn't ideal that they have decided to go this route, but it's a temporary name, so we won't be seeing this forever. It will still feel weird seeing that weird Washington football team logo when you see them score a touchdown or have numbers on their helmets like they're from Alabama or whatever.
I actually don't mind the logo at all. I know it's like a stand-in. I don't mind it at all. I think it's nice.
Yeah, it's basic. It's all right. It's just like
it's a W.
You're just not used to it. You're just not used to it. It's just like you're just used to seeing that one logo all your life, and then you're just like, oh yeah, this is happening.
Yeah.
But speaking on this, and we're going to wrap this up right now, real quick though. I want us to give our predictions for this year in the NFL. And you know what? There's also the NBA going on and some other sports as well. If you want to give predictions for that as well, you can.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, let's hear.
Are we giving prediction of who's going to make it to the Super Bowl or
anything you want? You can be as in-depth or not in-depth as you want.
Okay. So I think the Vikings are going to be tops in their division. Hold on. Shut up. Shut up.
Good
No, listen to me. The Vikings are going to be tops in their division, but then when it comes to the division playoffs, they lose it. They get dropped out. They don't make it to the Super Bowl.
Okay. I would say I'm going to go with the bold prediction here and say a 7th seed will make it to the second round.
Ooh. Okay.
I'll say that.
That's right.
Especially in the NFC. Especially in the NFC.
The NFC is just stacked.
It's super stacked. But I think with the fact that we're playing around with the third wild card spot, it's going to be interesting. But I feel like I think that we could see a 7 seed go into the next round, which would be really crazy. I think it may happen in the AFC though, especially if the Ravens get it again, because I don't know, man. I have very scary feelings when it comes to seeing the Baltimore Ravens in playoff. They just seem to not really be ready for that next stage when they get in it, but we'll see.
Which is sad because Lamar Jackson is fucking electric.
He's a beast, but he's got to step it up when it comes to the into the big stage because that's where the money comes, baby.
Yeah.
I think another prediction I want to say is I think Tom Brady will have his first losing season this year.
You know, I could see that because he's a quarterback for the Bucs now, right?
He is.
Yeah.
They look so out of sync.
I keep listening to my to the sports radio that I usually listen to, and I keep hearing one person be like, "Okay, they're gonna be really, really good. I think they're gonna make it to the playoffs. They're probably gonna be like 10-6." I'm like, you're giving a lot of hope for a old man, trying to adjust to a new team, especially with the head coach.
That and
literally
half of the magic of the Patriots for the last decade was.
Really, 2 decades.
The team, the chemistry between Bill Belichick and
Brady
and Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was, and Bill Belichick, what he retired last season, right?
No, he's still
He's still?
the head coach for the
Sorry,
Patriots.
okay. All right,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, I just don't see that that happening with the Bucks. Even if Tom Brady is still at it, I just don't see it.
I think-
Honestly, I think the problem is Tom Brady himself. Like, they have the tools to be a really, really good team. They
Which is-
have it all.
Like, they
It's
have
just
a scary offense.
yeah, they have so many weapons. Like, it's like with my team in Atlanta, they have a lot of weapons, but it's just the one slot that you're worried about is the QB. Like, we get it. Like, I think we can all agree that Tom Brady is arguably the best quarterback of all time, considering what he has done in the league. And I do feel like the argument about, oh, is it really Tom Brady or Bill Belichick is stupid, because it goes hand in hand
Yeah.
for the most part. But that's another conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that really, I don't think his body's going to be able to handle the NFC South.
Yeah.
Like, the NFC South is not the AFC East, not by a long shot.
Oh,
Especially with so many changes in the NFC itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
You're not playing Buffalo and Miami. God, the Jets, which are all just, for the most part, during his time in New England, with the exception of a few years, have just been utterly shit.
They've been
For so long.
garbage.
Which I don't know how that's even possible, but they have.
Because
So,
somehow they have those organizations keep hiring incompetent people in the front office.
Like
Like,
that case. But yeah.
So, Silox, what are your predictions for this season?
Well, hold up real quick. I just want to say, I think with Brady in Tampa, this is going to be a situation more like Jordan on the Wizards than Manning on the Colts.
Oh,
Yes.
no.
Yes.
Oh my God.
I totally agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
So now Jordan on the Wizards wasn't like rock bottom. Holy shit, he's bad. They were decent and good,
But he was showing his age, wasn't he?
Yeah.
and that team wasn't. I don't remember if they ever made the playoffs. I don't think they ever.
I don't think they did.
Yeah.
Then of course we know how Manning on the Colts fared out. I mean, his last season he looked just out of it. They had to. That defense and Von Miller just dragged them to a fucking Super Bowl. Call it what it is. But yeah, no. This is, I think, and this is probably me overreacting, but I think this is more of a Jordan on the Wizards situation as opposed to, okay, the Colts got Peyton Manning, they're going to win a Super Bowl.
How
But-
many wins do you think?
Well, I do think that they'll get it together. I don't know how long it's going to take because you can't fix chemistry in 1 week.
Mm-hmm.
I think that with an offense that good, with Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, of course, and Ronald Jones, and of course Gronk is still Gronk, and that defense isn't that bad. I think they'll get like 10 wins. They should make a playoff. I don't know if they'll win the NFC South.
I think they're gonna win 6 games, 6 or 7. Like, that's my take. Take it as you will. I don't trust that. Like, it gives me such Cleveland vibes of how hyped they are.
It does, yeah.
They give me such Cleveland vibes,
Damn.
and it really does not suit well with me at all.
I may be buying into the hype a little bit too much with that.
Maybe I can understand if they could get 9-7. I'm okay. That's fair. 10-6, I can kind of see it,
It's
but
just
I just don't.
like that. It's not like you have Jameis Winston back there.
Don't. But Tom Brady threw a pick 6 in his first game.
Yeah.
So what's the difference?
Yeah.
What's the difference?
They had a picture of Jameis on the sideline looking over. Where the caption was, so this is what it's finally like to win. Thank God.
But granted, I do think Jameis may end up being the heir to
Breeze.
to Breeze.
Oh, God, now that's a conversation in on
That
itself.
is a conversation, but I think that with the right mentor, maybe, but who knows?
As long as
We'll
it's not
see.
Taysom Hill, I'm okay. Not that I
And,
dislike Taysom Hill as a player. He's just not
Look, I fucking hate Taysom Hill. I'm so
Why
done with him. I don't like.
I love him.
I know you do.
I hate Julio Jones because he fucking torches fucking Lattimore all the time. You think I like saying that 2 times a year?
It's like, bro, the jack of all fucking trades, and I fucking hate it. Anyway,
anyway,
quick, we are pressed for time. I will give my really quick predictions.
Yeah.
Dallas will not make the playoffs. Dallas is overrated, and Dak is not getting paid $40 million a year. If any team pays Dak $40 million a year, you are really stupid. I actually think the Washington football team will be the 7th seed in the NFC. How is that for a take?
That's a bold.
That's a pretty big one. Imagine like if both of our takes are correct and the 7th seed goes into the 2nd round. That'd be wild. Oh my gosh.
I think Cam Newton will definitely be comeback player of the year. I expect him. I expect that team to actually. They might make the playoffs. I don't know if they will.
I think they have a good chance. I think they have a decent shot of winning the AFC East if the Bills aren't too careful.
Yeah.
Like I still think it's the Bills to lose, but if they choke, I think the Patriots are going to be right there with them.
Yeah. My Super Bowl matchup, and this is going to be me being a homer. It will be the Saints versus the Ravens.
Ravens. Okay.
I'm not going to say who's going to win because I like Lamar Jackson a lot, and I love the Saints a lot. So
you don't want to jinx it, do you?
I do not. And for my MVP, this is going to be a little unconventional. Christian McCaffrey will be the MVP.
Ooh.
Now, I love Christian McCaffrey. When I say love, I mean I have a huge crush on Christian McCaffrey. That man,
gosh.
Not only is he hot, Christian McCaffrey is a fucking beast. And I don't know.
Just say you just want to suck his dick.
Your words, not mine.
Jeez.
Look, Christian McCaffrey will be the MVP. If not him, it'll probably be Patrick Mahomes. But those are my hot takes. NBA, anybody but the Lakers. Sorry, I'm not a bronzexual. I ain't about that. Fuck LeBron. Fuck Anthony Davis for leaving the Pelicans. It is what it is.
Damn. Big sad.
NHL, I don't know. The Dallas Stars and the MLB. God, who's it? The Dodgers? Yeah, the Dodgers. Let's go with the Dodgers.
It's not much of a hot take, but you know.
Yeah.
I guess if we're gonna do Super Bowl predictions, I guess I actually do think that Kansas City will go back into the Super Bowl this year. Like they have the tools. They look like they haven't missed a beat, especially in week 1. I don't think they're gonna be perfect like everyone says they're going to be. I hate people when they do that. Be like, oh, this year had the potential to go 16-0 and finish the season perfect and possibly be the first team to be 19. But I don't like that. But I do think that they may end up representing the AFC again. And this is also me being a homer and really putting too much faith into this team because they just won me every fucking time. But I think it's going to be the Sea of Red. But I think should have been the matchup back in 2016. Yeah. The Chiefs and the Falcons, I think, would end up being the Super Bowl choice, which of course is me being a homer because I'm like that.
Well, they are playing December 27th.
Yeah. When it comes to the NBA, I do think that it might end up being we're kicking it old school, Lakers and Celtics in the finals. I think that's what's going to happen. Bringing that rivalry back, which is going to be annoying, but whatever. When it comes to the MLB, I don't watch it, so I can't really say a lot, but I will make the hot take that the Dodgers will not make it again. Yeah. They will come up short.
That's been their MO for like a couple of years now.
Yep, and I think that train continues here.
Yeah.
Because I think that's one team, while I hear is really good, has been quite overhyped. And hockey, yes.
With that, we've got to call it time. Thank you very much, Jason, for joining us on this spectacular episode of Furry Frequencies.
Yep. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. And if people want to just reach out to you, go ahead and just let us know how is the best way to reach you online.
Yep. The best ways to reach me is Telegram at Xenosblade. You can also poke me on Twitter at JXB Reviews. I also do cartoon reviews as well on my YouTube channel, which is simply Jason Blade. You can also put Jason Blade Reviews if you can't really find it that way. So those how you can get to reach me, and I'm sure I can give you guys the information to share it with the folks.
Yeah, awesome. And if you like what you hear, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to our videos on YouTube, and hit that bell for notifications on when we will be uploading our next episode. And also, don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Furry Frequency. That's when you will get your tweets on when we'll be podcasting next, and also any updates on our podcast. And sometimes some funny quips on our tweets as well. And also be sure to follow our Twitch channel at Furry Frequencies, or twitch.tv/Furry Frequencies. Sorry. So that when we are live streaming again, you will get a notification and you won't miss us. So anyway, this has been Furry Frequencies, signing off with Lifty,
Psylocke,
and Jason.
Thank you again for joining us on another exciting episode of Furry Frequencies, and we hope you have a great night.
Good night, Herndon, Virginia.
Oh, stop it with your goddamn! Oh my god, damn it!
I love that.
Stop.